Hi ladies, welcome to my white swirly water marble over green holographic polish. You can do this technique over any colour, whether it's a gradient, whether it's just one flat colour, one solid colour, or a glitter polish. It's to enable you to see the polish underneath without covering it all up with a water marble, which is what I previously used to do in the past. So I have cut thin strips of parcel tape, sellotape, sticky tape, whatever you want to call it. Now I actually did this gradient yesterday, so they are very dry and the tape is sticking very well and no air holes. I don't have to get rid of the tack of the tape. I'm putting this tape on my nails to mask off a section so that I can water marble, and then I'll peel the tape off and I'll still have a section of the gradient shown. That's a light to dark green to grey holographic gradient. And I used Frogs Alive by Lily Pad Lacquer. I used a Fresh Evergreen by I Love Nail Polish and AC Slater by I Love Nail Polish. I did try to do a video of that, but my hand was completely out of the shot, so you didn't actually get to see how I do the gradient. I have done a gradient video tutorial before and it's much the same as that, but with holographic polishes it's really easy and it seems to blend really well, much faster than regular cream polishes or shimmer. I don't know why that is, maybe it's the spectra flare, but it takes much less coats. So I'm doing a regular white and clay water marble using Sally Hansen Extreme Wear White on and OPI Nail NP, which I'm running out of now. This is a very easy pattern that you cannot go wrong with. Those two colours always work. It's very simple for beginners because it's just two colours and they always spread. I guarantee that if you use those colours and your water is the right room temperature, you won't fail. You don't have to do it over a gradient. You can do it over something else darker. It would look nice over red or black. But I'm obsessed with green, as you all know. So 4 lines outward and wipe your pointed tool, which can be a toothpick or a needle. I'm using a blackhead squeezer out of a manicure kit. And then 4 lines inward and then swirl. One simple swirl. Anyone can do that. And I'm dipping 2 nails, so it's a really fast water marble. Blow on the surface of the water to dry that polish. It's really important that you get that removed without it sticking to your nails, or you will ruin your perfect water marble. So that's 2 nails done already. And I've had 2 looks for the price of 1 because I've had that gradient on for a whole day and all the compliments that a holographic polish entails in the sunshine, and I have had a lot. I'm using tweezers to get the polish off because it's just easier than faffing around with wet nail polish. I'm not doing any cleanup at this point. I'm just going to do all the nails. For beginners, I recommend that you mask off your fingers with tape. I like to use electrical tape because it's stretchy. I don't use it anymore. I do it sometimes in the videos for the speed of the cleanup. On this occasion I haven't, because I can't stand sitting cutting 20 bits of tape out. If you don't get rings like that, when you drip your polish into the water, it's going to be difficult to get a good pattern with your pointed tool. If you've got large rings and small rings and then they stay in the middle as a dot, I would just change your polishes, or make sure your water is room temperature. Keep trying. What have you lost except a few drips of polish? I really like this swirly water marble pattern. It does look lovely on a whole nail, but like when I've done a really nice gradient like that, I want you to be able to see it, and previously you couldn't, because the water marble was so swirly and, I don't know, complete. You couldn't really get the gradient underneath, so I kind of came up with this technique. And maybe I'll try other shapes later on, like triangles or hearts. Really, I'm just not much good at cutting shapes out of tape, to be honest. So I do stripes. But a stripe does show the entire length of the gradient, and it's easy to get off. I think people who try water marble for the first time maybe have, like I did in the beginning, a lot of trouble, because I used to try to use too many colours, and I'd have 5 or 6 bottles of nail polish, and at least 1 or 2 of those wouldn't spread. But then I would think, oh well, I'm going to do it anyway, and I get out the tool and I'd just end up with a mess in the water and dip my finger in. And some of the ladies in nail addicts, they're having a lot of success compared to what I used to be like at first. You know, some people are saying, this is my 7th water marble, and my 7th water marble didn't come out anywhere near as good as their 7th water marble. It took me months before I got anything worth displaying. And even now when I look back at it and I think, oh my god, I thought that was okay then. So blow vigorously on that water, dry that polish. It doesn't come off too well if it's wet. I know of people who water marble necklaces and rings, and I've actually heard of someone water marbling a guitar before. You would need a big cup of water for that, wouldn't you? So, now for the clean up. If you had tape on, you wouldn't have all this to do. Cleanup isn't too bad with white. If it was red, I would have taped my fingers. Red is the worst. Then bright pinks. Honestly, they seem to stain your skin so badly. And your cuticles. So I definitely will do another gradient on video to show you how I do it, and I'll make sure it's a holographic gradient because they are much easier than a regular gradient. I would say a holographic is the easiest, followed by shades in the same palette in a cream or a shimmer, as if you know, if they're in the same palette, like a white and then a light pink and then a dark pink, that's okay, that's kind of easy. It's when you start trying to do like rainbows of yellow, blue, green, orange, I have trouble with that. I have trouble trying to get four colours on my nail. It would be easier if they were a little bit longer, and I think that's because in order to blend it you've got to move the sponge slightly up and down the nail each time. It's a shame you can't see how beautiful and shiny and sparkly that holographic polish is, and I really can't even get a decent photograph of it. It was very sunny today and people were commenting saying, oh, it's like green rainbows, Wendy, but I just can't get a good photograph to show that. Never mind, they're fabulous in person, you'll just have to take my word for it. People keep telling me I should, do this for a living. I don't actually want to. Every time I try to do someone else's nails, it goes wrong, especially with a watermarble. Disaster. And you just don't even look professional at all when it won't spread for someone else. When it won't work for me, that's okay. I just stay up a little bit longer and keep going till I get it. You can see me touching a part of my thumbnail with the brush there, and I'll tell you what happened. There was a water droplet on my nail. The water marble went on top of the water droplet, so I end up with a bare patch on the nail, which I then filled in with a striping brush and white nail polish. It's not perfect, but there's no bare patch anymore. Just a quick fix, because I mean, a blind man on a galloping horse isn't going to notice, and I'm only going to have this on 2 or 3 days at most. I do love it though. I love that I can have the green and the water marble on one nail. I don't know why I didn't think of it years ago. Well, months ago. I couldn't do this to my nails years ago. They were lucky to get painted one colour. Clean up with my brush and acetone. That's kind of like a flat brush. It's not angled or anything, but it's flat. It gets in really well around the cuticles. There you see, bald patch. I've filled it in now. Always get that top coat on. It protects it, it makes it last longer, and if you wrap the nail edge, it's even more, it's an extra layer of protection against wear and tear in the elements. And I've had regular nail polish, not gel nail polish. I've had a water marble on for almost 3 weeks when I went to England in December. I snapped a nail, but the nail polish stayed together and kept the nail on. There you go, ladies. I really like that look, and I think you can do it too.